Hello, beautiful souls. So excited to be here again and joining you with one of my very, very best friends. So it's great to have astrologers in your life, but when they're actually one of your best friends as well, it's super special. So I get to bring you one of my best friends and an amazing astrologer, the Star Witch, which is Mikailah. Welcome, Mikailah.
Hi, Tiarnie, and hello, everyone.
So excited that you're here, darling. We're really the Patsy and Eddie of the astrology world. I mean, you must all know that by now, darlings. But today, yeah, we've got a really beautiful topic that we're going to be, that Mikailah's going to be sharing, something that's a real passion of hers. And not only is Mikailah an astrologer, but she does transpersonal healing and she's a shamanic witch, and so she actually will bring in ritual and these gateway activations that you're all in for a treat. Let me tell you, you're in for a treat where you get to really understand not just Venus, but Venus and her gateways and these activations that Mikailah is going to give you as she moves to the morning star, which is really Mikailah's full talk today. So super excited to start diving in to that with you, Mikailah. But firstly, of course, the question that all of the astrologers get asked at the very first thing of our panel is, when was astrology the thing for you, and how did you get introduced to it, and when did it land and become everything for you? Tell us your story. This is my favorite thing to listen to because everyone's is just so deliciously magical.
Oh, thanks. So mine actually came later in my 20s, actually. I grew up very connected to land medicine, to spirits, to visions, to dreaming. And I suppose it was more through a connection with living overseas in England and studying spiritualism and tarot, like I was right back in my foremother's home of connecting into the very witchy land of England. And I went through what can only be described as many years of a huge shamanic dismembering. So I was opiate dependent, and it took me on a very intense journey for many years. And in doing so, I found myself. And in the process of learning everything, in the sense of I'd lost myself. It was a classic Ishtar Inanna journey of losing everything that was precious to me, including relationships and loved ones, even down to, like, it was such an Inanna initiation. I even lost my dreads, my jewelry, my amazing theatrical costume, everything that was me out in the world, so vibrant and creative, and I was stripped to the bone like a Rashka gal. So I did go through an Inanna initiation, and that was in my mid-20s. And so what happened was I was receiving a lot of guidance through my dreams, and I needed something to show me who I was. Like, who was I? I was completely lost. I was hung up on the hook, and I was a skeleton. I was bone, no flesh, like literally and almost figuratively. Wow. It was bringing it to me in a way that no one could soothe me. No one could fix me. No one could heal me. And the one thing I found was this astrology book. And it was like, oh, okay, let me look up my chart and let me explore this. And this is back in the mid-90s. So it was basically astrology that breathed life back into my soul. And I used it as a wonderful tool for personal growth and soul exploration around who am I? Why did this happen to me? What is the meaning and the reason for my existence and purpose for being here? Why did I go through that soul path trauma? And then I was rebirthed, and very strong shamanic initiation in the rebirth. And it was my Inanna descent into the underworld. That was my introduction to astrology.
That's so powerful. And so powerful that then Venus has become such a guiding light for you as well in your own practice, Mikailah, in your own day. I mean, I've been to your home, and you get the crescent moon with Venus there, especially this year in 2021,
Mm.
where she's been the evening star, and you get to see that every day. And she has literally been your guiding light, and you did have to do the descent, like you're going to explain to us, like this is what Venus does. So what an embodiment. And Mikailah is a Taurus sun, Venus woman, two Venusian women here because I'm a Taurus sun as well. Powerful introduction to be hung out bones, to be able to go to the depths. I love how you said the soul exploration, that astrology is this incredible tool for personal growth, evolution, discovery, but I love the soul exploration word. Absolutely. That's what astrology is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's soul crafting. And I also went on a 7-year initiation as a shamanic priestess through Anana training as well. So it was all there, different pathways, and they all culminated in this one place of meeting Venus in her cycle through the celestial heavens, and my earth initiation through the rites of passages that we go through in our lives. And it's messy, it's the dark night of the soul, but then we reclaim the gifts as well. It's all here. Like
yes.
we all go through it. We all have our own rites of initiation and passages. So it's fascinating to look at Venus as the morning and the evening star, as so many of the Indigenous cultures have done. It's so imprinted in our rich history, or her story around the world.
Absolutely.
For all of us.
Yes. And I mean, Venus herself is full of sulfuric acid. It's funny, she's the hottest. Everyone thinks Mars, the red planet, is the hottest planet. Well, actually, no, Venus is the hottest planet, and makes sense. I'm a strong Venus chart with a stellium in Libra, a stellium in Taurus. Venus is my chart ruler, who is in Taurus. So for me, Venus is everything for me. And I always wondered why I run so hot. Like I just run so hot. Even my Mars is in Taurus too. So, I run hot. And then when I discovered that Mars isn't the hottest planet, that Venus is, and she's full of these volcanic sulfuric acids. That's why, we want to get to know her. And, Venus is all these soft, beautiful things of harmony and things, but she can also be fucking fire, right? She can spit the fire. She's got this element. She's even got a strong, in my opinion, thread to Lilith, a real strong thread to Lilith, Venus, because of the feminine and the fire. So there's this incredible journey with Venus, and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star comes from Venus. That's the whole reason that song was written, because it is the one that we see in the night sky when she is an evening star. And that's what is so exciting about Mikailah going to share with us today, about her becoming a morning star in 2022. Now, the great crux of this is that we've been watching her in the sky, and we enter 2022, which is a 6-year, which if you've got my 2022 energy survival kit, is based on love. We are moving into a very love rich, love threaded year. 2022 is. And Venus kicks us off in retrograde, right? So she only retrogrades every 18 months. And Mikailah's going to share with us that how she goes from the morning into the underworld, and as a part of this talk today, and then become the evening star, and then that's her cycle. So starting the year off with a Venus retrograde, I'm pretty sure Uranus is still retrograde as the year starts as well. So we've got those two retrograde as 2022 kicks off. But Venus retrograde in Capricorn, I mean, it's a strong way initiation portal, being in the underworld, right, Mikailah? Like as we start 2022, we're actually in the underworld with Venus before she becomes this morning star. So I really am, totally looking forward to hearing all of your beautiful insights of these gateways and all of the things. So I'm going to I'm gonna mute my mic now and get ready to take notes, as everyone watches me do with every single panelist. Take some notes and enjoy this journey with you. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Tiarnie. So everyone, you'll be watching this for 2022. So I really hope, with divine love, that we are in a year of great hope and renewal. So sending out the blessings of Venus to our beautiful Earth, our beautiful planet, and to all of us here, all of humanity, may be showered with the rays of Venus. And she is related to the ancient Sumerian goddess Inanna, or the Babylonian goddess Ishtar. And they were the goddesses of love and beauty, fertility and wisdom. And I would love just to send through the screen to you. I am burning in a smudging ritual before we began with Tiarnie and I introducing this, the beautiful Moroccan rose resin. And the rose is sacred to Venus. So if you just like to receive the rays of Venus and the Moroccan rose and just pull it over you energetically. Keeping the heart space open for unity and divine love to come through for this year, for 2022. So I'm keeping this as succinct as I can because I have Venus, Mars conjunct in Gemini. And my topic is the Venus stargates. And this is the Venus conjunction with the moon, and it is the morning star. So as Tiarnie mentioned, we had Venus retrograding 26 degrees Capricorn from the 20th of December 2021, and she goes direct 11 degrees Capricorn on the 30th of January 2022. She comes out of the metamorphic underworld. So she was as the evening star ascending through 2021. Now for 2022, after the metamorphic underworld, she is now going to be descending as the morning star. This is one of the most ancient feminine initiation rites. If we go back in ancient history, it goes right back to ancient Mesopotamia. Inanna and Ishtar, and Inanna was known as the great cosmic queen of heaven. And Lilith is connected into this ceremonial rite. So basically, every 8 years, Venus goes around the sun 13 times. And we go through the cycle, as Tiarnie mentioned, every 18 months. So the synodic cycle is 584 days. We have 263 days as the morning star. Then she's in the underworld for a period of around 40 to 50 days. And then she comes back as the evening star for 263 days. So what I want to focus on is that for 2022, the star gateways are when Venus is meeting as the morning star rise around the 14th, 15th of January. So she is birthing a new Venus star point in Capricorn. And each lunar month, when Venus meets the balsamic waning crescent at dawn, each lunar month, that is an activation through the 7 gates, the 7 stellar gates, which relate to the chakra system. So Venus basically descends each lunar month through a different gateway representing the different chakras. So I'm going to give you the themes and the dates. And you might like to write these down. And then every month, just do an initiation or an affirmation or a mantra or a spell, or just be aware of how to work with the celestial gateway, yeah? Now, the morning star is her descent. Okay, the evening star is the ascension where she reclaims, but we're actually going through the shadow integration through 2022 of the morning star release. So that will be the focus of the morning star releasing. So I'm going to go through, and on the 30th of January 2022, she will be activating the gate of the crown, which is known as her turban, the crown chakra, which is when the balsamic moon is 6 degrees Capricorn, Venus is 11 degrees Capricorn, but Vesta, the sacred priestess, the flame of spiritual consciousness, is also there in that conjunction. So we have the balsamic moon, Vesta, and Venus. So obviously each year or each synodic cycle, it's going to be very different at each of the gateways because of the other planetary transits or celestial bodies. So this is specific for 2022. So the crown is about our connection to divinity, to our spiritual consciousness. It's also around authority. So releasing any themes around the crown chakra that disconnects you. Yeah. So this is the ray of purple. So I was also trained in the beautiful healing modality of Aurosoma 25 years ago. I'm now in my early 50s. So this is combining the chakra healing system, the colors, the crystals, the themes, and the Venus gateways. Yeah. So I don't have time to go into all of that, but I'm just going to give you the dates. So for that whole lunar month, from the 30th of January right through to the 28th of February, the 28th of February, she activates with the balsamic moon, the third eye. And this is around our perception and our intuition. So releasing any blockages or fears. So this is a beautiful segue. When you get activated at each of the chakra gateways, what am I releasing that is sabotaging my connection to my perception, my intuition? Likewise, the month before the crown, what is sabotaging, or what do I need to release around any fears about my connection to the divine? Because we're clearing out any murky filters of the chakras, and we want to make the chakra energy centers spin really vibrantly and bright. Frequency, it's all about frequencies, raising our frequencies, yeah? But also being very aware we're heading down into the underworld. Now, the third eye gateway on the 28th of February is Venus and Vesta at 24 degrees Capricorn. Mars is conjunct this one at 25 degrees, Pluto at 27, and the moon's at 29 degrees. So we've got a really strong stellium there of some pretty punchy planets activating the third eye.
Wow.
Mm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That stellium's amazing.
Yeah, so this is specialized for the planetary celestial bodies of 2022 around these gateways, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. And so as you were saying, that the question that I was writing too is that, like you said, the morning star is the descent. So we're actually releasing, clearing, letting go, right? Because you said that the evening star is when she reclaims. So she moves back up the chakras in the gateways. Yeah, is that right?
Yes.
Amazing.
In 2023.
Okay, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah, so 2022, it's the clearing. Amazing. That's really fascinating, and how that's going to play out with everything else. This is incredible. Yeah, loving this.
Yeah, so remember the cycle of the morning star is 263 days.
Yes.
So she goes down. So I'll keep continuing with these dates. So on the 29th of March 2022, she activates the third stellar gate of the throat, which is all about communication. Now, what I find fascinating is that she's at 21 degrees Aquarius with Juno, the goddess asteroid of relationships and partnerships, and she's at communication gateways. So what needs to be spoken? Where have you been sabotaging your voice, your truth, your integrity, yeah?
Your creativity.
Saturn, yeah, and Saturn is also there in Aquarius with the moon. So this is about breaking out of the old Saturnian structures, but I also invite you to just work with the chakras with whatever symbolism and meaning they have for you. Yeah, we don't need to get too fixated or rigid around what they mean. Like transpersonally, it's about tuning into your own body intelligence to what feels right for you in each of those individual gateways. These are just themes and guides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So throughout that lunar month, it's the throat communication, releasing anything where there's fear of speaking up, speaking out.
And with Lilith in Gemini next year too, still for some time. That's exciting. Yeah.
Now, on the 27th of April, she activates the fourth stellar gate of the heart, which is around the themes of compassion and divine love. Now, what I love about this one is the moon is 17 degrees Pisces, the balsamic moon. So even on these dates, if you get up before dawn, you will see the balsamic moon with Venus out to the east. Yeah, so I'm very lucky I can see her as the morning star as when she's in that cycle with the crescent moon, but I can also journey with her out to the east before dawn with the morning star when she's in this cycle. Now, with the moon and Venus and Pisces, Neptune is also in the conjunction with Venus and Jupiter, 27 degrees Pisces. So that's a pretty beautiful planetary arrangement to activate the heart chakra on the 27th of April.
That is amazing. And because we've talked a lot about this Jupiter in Pisces, you know, lots of panel that's been covered. So now we've got this extra bit of information that actually it's the heart chakra that's going to be activated. That cycle is just, of course, like you can't make this shit up. Seriously, it's the heart chakra. That's what Venus is activating when she's in Pisces, which that is where you would put her, you know, it's heart, it's compassion, it's unity, it's divinity. I mean, that's the heart center. I mean, it's just amazing. Blown away. Love it.
And yeah, you know, like Venus and Earth, Pachamama, are sister planets. Neptune has been described as transpersonal love, the higher octave. So this is a really potent activation to release out all of the heart pain or the suffering or the grief or the loss that's activated with Pisces. Yeah? You know, because remember, it's about the releasing. And there may be a lot of collective grief and loss that you need to release out to be transmuted. Yeah? Especially with Black Moon Lilith and Gemini governing the lungs. And, you know, like seasonally, we've got to really take care of our bodies, our relationships with our sovereignty, our bodies, our body intelligences, and keeping our immune system strong. So not getting overwhelmed by the collective grief and suffering is really important, yeah? Especially with it all in Pisces.
Yeah. Love that.
So as we move through the year, we come to the 27th of May. And the balsamic moon and Venus are activating the fifth gateway, solar plexus. The moon's at 24 degrees, the Venus 27 degrees Aries. So cardinal fire right at the solar plexus gateway of empowerment. So looking at what do you need to release around anxieties or irrational fears that stop you from stepping into your true empowerment of the solar plexus.
Perfect.
The 27th of June is the sixth gateway, sacral chakra, creativity, sexuality. Venus 4 degrees Gemini, the moon 10 degrees Gemini, yeah? And orange. On the 27th of July, the seventh gateway is the base chakra, so tribal connection, survival, the root chakra of life. Like this one's pretty massive. Venus, 10 degrees Cancer, conjunct the balsamic waning crescent, the moon at 12 degrees Cancer, and right in between them, in the midpoint, is black moon Lilith, 11 degrees Cancer. Like how connected to tribe, ancestral connection, all of those old ancestral stories that might be playing out. Now, remember, this is the morning star release. We have to release all of the ancestral DNA stories and narratives that are being activated, especially with Cancer.
Yeah, this is so fascinating. Just even that Lilith has changed signs now. Now she's in Cancer, she's in that mother, she's in Pachamama, she's in Cosmic Mother, she's in Earth Mother. Like this is the nourishment. And it feels like even when you're talking, like I'm even, you're just tuning in and you just feel like it feels like such a big traumatic release. And even in my 2022 kit, I've talked about this is our exhale year, like get prepared, people. Like next year, 2022 is like, here's a bit of a reprieve. And yes, there's still going to be things because there's always things, but this is the reprieve. And this event, I knew none of this until Mikailah is sharing this with me as well. Like this is our first time. I knew this is what she was talking about, but because I've, so deeply gone into 2022 as well and hearing about the specific chakras on these dates, Mikailah, it's like constantly like this releasing and clearing of the collective and then even that base chakra one, the life chakra, we're clearing ancestral stuff here that goes back eons. And this is so potent to us moving forward to 23, 24, 25, and 26, because those years will maybe blow your whole head off. So,
Absolutely.
This is incredibly healing is what I'm feeling from this, is what you're sharing actually feels like a balm to my soul, Mikailah, the way you're describing this. It's like, because I've been working with the chakras myself for over 20 years, it's a very normal ritual that you work with the chakras. So to now be invited into your world of this shamanic earth wisdom where we're activating and using Venus because she's your guiding light, and you sharing that with us, this is gold. This is such gold wisdom for us to be able to work with her, Mikailah. So amazing.
Yeah. And I'll just say that the black moon Lilith, 11 degrees Cancer, that's in her mean position. I didn't actually track out her true position. Now, on the 26th of August, we reach the 8th gateway, the stellar gateway, which is called the Eye of Death.
Wow.
And she's actually squaring the nodes of fate on this gateway. The moon, 15 degrees Leo, Venus, 17 degrees Leo, and Ceres, the great harvest mother, the great earth mother, 14 degrees Leo. So, we then go into the underworld on the 23rd of October, the Inanna underworld, when Venus and the sun are exactly conjunct on the 29th, at 29 degrees Libra on the 23rd of October, 2022. So, we're heading into the Inanna underworld for a strong period, of being there. And she doesn't rise till the evening star till the 2nd of December 2022. at 20 degrees Sagittarius, and then she starts reclaiming and rising up from the 24th of December 2022. She rises up now as her evening star ascent, activating every lunar month with the crescent moon at twilight, after twilight. So when she's down in the underworld, through all of November, right through to the start of December, so I'll give you the date. She goes into the underworld on the 23rd of October, and she is reborn as the evening star rise on the 2nd of December. When she's in the underworld, she is stripped to the bone. She is meeting Reshkagal, and she is in the sign of Scorpio.
Wow.
So on the 26th of October, the sun is at 2 degrees Scorpio, Venus 3 degrees Scorpio, and the moon is at 7 degrees Scorpio. So that is the superior conjunction, but she's in the underworld, stripped to the bone. She's released all through each of the 7 gateways, releasing all fear. And we have to be aware, do not go into the fear. Whatever it is, we need to stay strong and anchored with these celestial codes of love and beauty, and aware of this deep shamanic initiation into the shadow is a cosmological initiation through cosmic gateways of life and death and rebirth. Our ancestors have done this and followed the morning and evening star for thousands and thousands of years. It is so embedded in our collective psyche. We know this. We know it deeply. And this is where the hope and the renewal comes through as well. You know, we are the ones that we've been waiting for.
Wow.
And can I just say,
yes,
just to finish up, because I did look at, and I'm aware of the time, Tiarnie,
no, that's okay.
2022, when Venus, she's there with the total lunar eclipse on the 8th of November. Yeah.
Yes.
And she's also there with the solar eclipse on the 25th of October. So the solar eclipse on the 25th of October is the sun and the moon at 2 degrees Scorpio. Venus is there in Scorpio at 2 degrees. That's a very potent nodal gateway and solar eclipse, and Venus is there, yeah? And then, of course, she's also there with the lunar eclipse 2 weeks later on the 8th of November.
And that's super extra potent too, like for realistically too, Venus is ruling the North Node in 2022. So the fact that she's hanging out in November in the underworld after she's released and cleared and taken off and de-armored herself. I mean, there's this real element of de-armoring, like let's really de-armor, like let's throw down our weapons, let's de-armor, like de-armor every part, every sanctuary within our chakras. And then because she's the ruler of the North Node next year, and Pluto, who is the ruler of Scorpio, is the ruler of the South Node. I mean, I'm calling the nodes the love and death nodes, you know. It's one of the biggest transits that I'm excited about. I'm going to be talking about it. I've got masterclasses on it. Like it's just a super exciting thing for me. And the fact that now this added layer of working with the North Node ruler through her activation points, Mikailah, is so rich and ripe for us. Like what a gift that you've given us today to be able to understand that these times during the month, each chakra that we need to work on personally, you know, and then even collectively, it's like the world herself is collectively de-armoring all of what she's holding as well. So it's so beautiful. I mean, because the Earth and Venus are sisters, similar size, things like that, like because that's happening again, there is this collective de-armoring, and the Earth will do what she needs to do next year with this cycle herself. And and it's fated because it's the ruler of the North Node. So we want to be following Venus anyway. Venus is a very particular planet you want to be following next year. I mean, I talk about that generally when she's ruling the North Node, right? So we want to be following her, but now we've got a deeper connection of these activation points for us to even go that layer deeper, which is obviously why we all love you so much, Mikailah, because you take us to these realms that you know, that are unknown. And because of your own initiation through this, your own Inanna experience that even got you into astrology, it makes so much sense that you are the one to be sharing this. And I know, just as a side note, that Mikailah is going to be having her own workshop based on this to really go through this. And that, I mean, that's not to be missed. I'll be doing that myself, because that will be something to really understand on a, you know, not just in a half-hour conversation. Come on, there's so much to unpack when it comes to Venus. So yeah, I really think that those solar and lunar eclipses, when she's in the underworld, very, very potent. That's going to be a very potent month, isn't it? And yes.
I was just going to say, Venus is exalted in Pisces. Now, I know that you follow the detriment, the exaltations. I don't personally when I'm doing astrology, but just for the beautiful summit, Venus is exalted in Pisces. So when she's at that gateway in the sign of Pisces, because she stays in each zodiacal sign for around 23 days. And what I found fascinating about when we're talking about the eclipses, Tiarnie, she's in supposed detriment in Scorpio and Aries, and exalted in Pisces, and her domiciles are Taurus and Libra. So she goes through all of the zodiacal signs every year because of the 23-day transit. So even being the ruler of the North Node in Taurus, but in detriment when she's in Scorpio, with the South, watch this space, like,
yes, huge stuff, huge. And the interesting thing too is that Venus only retrogrades in 5 signs, and 2 of them are her detriment, Aries and Scorpio. So that she only retrogrades in 5 signs. From memory, I think it's Leo, Aries, Scorpio. Capricorn sometimes goes into Aquarius. And what's the 5th sign? Because it makes a pentagram.
So
sorry,
Venus,
I've missed a sign.
That's okay. Venus, I want to pick up on the flower of life. So Venus as a planet moves as the 5-pointed star. And that's when she's conjunct the sun. So there are 5 activation points in a Venus star point, which is based on what you're talking about. But this is where we are each born under a different Venus star point, which we're going to segue into another amazing aspect. So, and those 5 signs are part of a Venus star point. So that is the origin of the 5-pointed star. Is actually the movement of Venus as Inanna Ishtar out in the celestial heavens, and we are each born on a different Venus star point, which is what you're alluding to, Tiarnie.
It's Gemini, I'm pretty sure.
We've just been in Gemini. So we're moving into the Venus star point after the retrograde
of Capricorn.
The retrograde in Capricorn, we're now going to be in the Venus star point of Capricorn.
Yes, that's right. And we are all born on one of those star points, because we've got to go back to when Venus and the sun had come together. So for me, I've got Venus in Taurus, but I'm actually born on an Aries star point. But that's a whole nother workshop. It's amazing though.
And I also want to say that there's been some incredible astrologers that have done lots of research and beautiful work on what Venus gateway were you actually born under? Were you born as a morning or an evening star? And what gateway were you born under? It's fascinating.
I've done a workshop with an incredible astrologer, and I'm born, of course, when Venus was in the underworld. You can't make that shit up. Of course I am. But I wanted to ask really quickly before we start to wrap this up is, so she's softer as a morning star, do you feel? Not saying that she's hard or not soft, but there's a different presence as a morning star, like collectively, that we're going to feel, to work with?
Yes, so there is different energies definitely between the morning and the evening star. The morning star, she's been described in her more warrioress tone, the morning star.
Okay.
The evening star is in her celestial expression.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? The Venus morning star. There's something, I think maybe it was the way you were describing next year too. It felt like this softness, but no, she's in the morning. Of course, she's with the sun, the fire, the fire god. So she's going to have that more warrior. And then, of course, if she's evening, it's got the lunar, doesn't it? You know, you can sort of feel the more masculine and feminine maybe as well.
Well, the morning star is always connected with the balsamic moon, the waning crescent that you see at dawn. The evening star is when she's with the crescent, new moon crescent.
Yes.
Out to the west, just after sunset. So for 8-9 months, she's as the morning star with the balsamic moon at dawn. That is the activation point each lunar month for each of the different gateways. Then after she's been the morning star, she goes into the underworld, and then she rises as the evening star, but that's when you see her out to the west after sunset with the crescent waxing light.
So we're having the waning and the waxing phase as well. Of course
with the moon.
Yes.
So the gateways are always connected with the moon conjunction.
Yes. And all of those dates and activation points and signs are, incredible value. I'm sure everyone was noting all of those down themselves, because it's nice to know those dates, Mikailah. It's so much deliciousness.
There's so much with the colors, with the herbs, with the crystals, with the symbolism of each different chakra. So I encourage you to explore that. And then there's ancient rites of initiation that you can adapt to modern day expression of spells and affirmations around your cosmological initiation at these gateways. Make it your own.
Absolutely. We're all for that, aren't we, us Taurus? We're like, yes, be resourceful, go to credible people with lots of experience and information to share, like Mikailah, on something like this, and then tune into it, embody it for yourself. What does it feel like for you, as opposed to how someone might tell you something should feel? We start to embody the cosmic language ourselves and our own charts. We start to embody that ourselves. And I would even go that step further to, the dates that Mikailah have given. Like, where is that in your chart? Like, what house is that in for you in your chart? Is it touching a planet for you in your chart? Because there's going to be that beautiful signature there for you, that it's going to be, maybe it's a relationship month, or, maybe it's your work, your career, yourself, your home life. So again, you keep, the macro is incredible, but without micro work, the macro doesn't change. We have to do the micro work. We have to embody this language and start utilizing it. It's great to write things down and know stuff, read some books, blah, 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 regurgitate some shit, share some stuff on Facebook. Means nothing if you're not embodying it and living it and getting it activated and bringing it to life. You are your chart moving. So these sorts of activations that Mikailah has gifted us for all of 2022. I mean, this gives us the invitation to go, right, where is this 17-degree point on the 27th of April? Where is this in my chart in Pisces? For me, it's my 6th house. Bam, like my 6th house is going to be so lit up with all of that Pisces stuff. It's delicious. So you're going to start to see where this happens for you. And it's exciting. It's exhilarating, because it's activating something collectively on the macro, but then that de-armoring that we get to go through personally just feels so rich with potential next year. And this has added so much to the year itself, for me, and I know for all of the listeners and for everyone that is getting this today, Mikailah, because Yeah. Wow. 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 I've been blown away by both my interviews today. How lucky am I?
Mm. And you've struck gold there, because it's like checking your own chart to see what house is it playing out in, and that adds another clue to the treasure map of what am I releasing this month, because the house sheds light into the area of life that you might need to release out of, to surrender, to let go, to de-armor.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
That micro. Well, Mikailah, this has just been an absolute joy, and I'm so super keen for these activation points now, something new to add to my repertoire. So I thank you so much for gifting us this today. It's such a beautiful tool and skill and wisdom that you've been able to help us craft in our own lives. So it's such a deep pleasure and honor to receive that from you. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Tiarnie, and thank you, everyone, and just so much beauty and love collectively for everyone, for what we're releasing and going through with humanity at this time, and in the deep release to go down into the underworld. And there are amazing gifts that come from being in the underworld as well. It's not to be feared. It's a place of deep rebirth, deep fertility, empowerment, and don't be afraid of the shadow. We have to meet it and befriend it, and just shine it with magnificence, because all of our collective energies help with the evolution of humanity. And that's why I feel so strongly about Venus and Mother Earth. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, darling. Love you so much. I hope everyone enjoyed that little treasure. I'm sure you did. So thank you, everyone. And thank you so much again, darling. I love you.
I love you too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.